She's one of our friends. She worked at the World Trade Center, Tower 1, and she has 2 daughters, and we haven't heard no response from her, nothing.
Family and friends of those missing in the World Trade Center attack gathered at Bellevue Hospital in Manhattan. Many came with photos, hoping to locate their loved ones.
This is my mother. She was in one World Trade Center, and the last time we heard from her was about 8:39 in the morning. She called my grandfather, and they were trapped. She was on the 79th floor, so everything around them had collapsed already.
As a chance of finding survivors' lessons, the stories and lives of the victims have come into focus. The Washington Post tells of Ruth Clifford McCourt and her daughter who were on the jet that crashed into the Trade Center's South Tower. Ironically, Ruth's brother was visiting the same tower, but managed to escape. The Post also tells of Rodney Dickens, who survived his tough Washington, D.C. neighborhood, only to lose his life aboard the plane that crashed into the Pentagon. And Tara Creamer, who had 2 young children, rarely traveled for her work, but she was on one of the planes on Tuesday. Tom Burnett was heading home from a business trip to New York on United Flight 93. Using his cell phone, he called his wife and told her hijackers had taken control of the plane.
His adrenaline was going. He was not whispering. He was talking quickly, and he was ready to do something.
She told him of the attack on the World Trade Center.
He was fighting to come home. He had every intention of being here that night.
United Flight 93 crashed in western Pennsylvania, and Dina Burnett is convinced her husband was one reason why.
I pleaded with him to please sit down and not draw attention to himself. And he said, no, if they're going to run this into the ground, we're going to have to do something.
At the Pentagon, Christy Babcock keeps vigil with a friend. The friend is waiting for news of her husband, Eddie, a civilian accountant who worked in the section of the Pentagon hit by the plane.
My husband and Eddie have been best friends for 15 years, and my husband was in their wedding, Eddie was in ours, and my kids call him Uncle Eddie, so.
Sarah Lowe was a flight attendant on United Flight 11. Her father spoke of her death.
Losing Sarah is just absolutely horrible. None of us know what it would be like to lose a child unless we had experienced it ourselves. But our whole community has lost a child, and in such a horrific way.
A country mourns the children, the husbands and wives, mothers, fathers, friends, forever gone. As prayer vigils began across the U.S., there is acknowledgement around the world, an understanding of the grief that has gripped a nation, and a moment of silence to honor those who died.